Many people pray the Lord's Prayer every day, asking for the forgiveness of their sins, speak prayers of petition to the Almighty, and pray their confession of sins associated with baptism. But have you ever thought about who spoke the first prayer for such deliverance in Scripture? We have. When you ponder this question, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Is it King David's response after being confronted with his sin? He certainly wrote a lot about that in the Psalms. Or maybe King Saul's pleading with Samuel for forgiveness after losing his kingship. But when we search through the Dead Sea Scrolls and into books the early Christian followers of Yeshua, Jesus, held in esteem, the answer was surprising. Most people are taught that Elohim, or God, chose Abraham on his own, for reasons that were tied to things to come in the future, such as making him a great nation, or the Messiah would be born through his seed to bless and save the world, or he demonstrated his faith in counting the stars, or that he kept all the commandments and instructions of Yah Elohim passed down to him, or that he was willing to leave his normal life with his father and venture out into the unknown. All of these are wonderful and beautiful things that occurred after the choosing of Abram. But there is more to this story about what happened before his being chosen. Pay attention to who chooses whom first in today's brief storytelling from the Book of Jubilees. It's the other book held in esteem from the Dead Sea Scrolls that covers the same timeline and events of history as the Book of Genesis. Welcome to the Numbering the Days channel, where we share insights from the books of Enoch, Jubilees, Dead Sea Scrolls, the Tanakh, and the Brit Hadashah, taking the time to chart the stories on the calendar of creation and to glean new understandings. We hope this short story becomes a blessing, a barakah, for you. Long, long ago, 1904 years after creation, Abram sat up throughout the night on the first day of the 7th month to observe the stars from evening to morning, in order to see what would be the character of the year with regard to the rains. And he was alone as he sat and observed. And a word came into his heart, and he said,
All the signs of the stars, and the signs of the moon, and of the sun, are all in the hand of Adonai. Why do I search them out? If he desires, he causes it to rain, morning and evening. And if he desires, he withholds it. And all things are in his hand.
Later that night, Abram prayed,
My El Elyon, you alone are my Elohim, and you and your dominion have I chosen, and you have created all things, and all things that are the work of your hands. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits, who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from you, my Elohim, and establish me and my seed forever, that we go not astray from henceforth and forevermore. Shall I return unto Ur of the Chaldees, who seek my face, that I may return to them? Or am I to remain here in this place? Please prosper the right path before you in the hands of your servant, that he may fulfill it, and that I may not walk in the deceitfulness of my heart, O my Elohim.
Abram made an end to his prayers, and then, behold, the word of Yahuwah was sent to him through me, saying,
Get thee up from thy country, and from thy kindred, and from the house of thy father, unto a land which I shall show thee. And I shall make thee a great and numerous nation. And I shall bless thee, and I shall make thy name great, and thou wilt be blessed in the earth. And in thee will all families of the earth be blessed. And I shall bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee, and I shall be a God to thee and thy son, and to thy son's son, and to all thy seed. Fear not, from henceforth and unto all generations of the earth, I am thy God. Open his mouth and his ears, that he may hear and speak with his mouth, with the language which hath been revealed, for it had ceased from the mouths of all the children of men from the day of the overthrow of Babel.
And I opened his mouth and his ears and his lips, and I began to speak with him in Hebrew, the tongue of the creation. And he took the books of his fathers, and these were written in the Hebrew, and he copied them, and he began from henceforth to study them. And I made known to him what he could not understand, and he studied them during the 6 rainy months. And now you know the rest of the story. We have left you our observations of this as a gift to chew on, and see the link in the description. Abram chose Elohim first, and he was chosen in response to his crying out to El for the deliverance of his seed and himself from being led astray. The book of Genesis does not contain Abram's crying out for deliverance. But is this not the pattern throughout much of Scripture? We cry out for help and salvation and for deliverance, and Yah responds to us. Did not Yahuwah say he heard the cries of his people, Yasharel in Egypt, and then he brought forth Moses? Is it just possible that crying out for salvation and deliverance is part of what the seed of Abraham does? Remember, Yahusha's rebuking the Pharisees and telling them if they were the seed of Abraham, they would do the deeds he did. Well, it appears to us that Abraham was the first to cry out for deliverance, as was written down for our studies in righteousness. To deepen your understanding even more of this story, do watch this week's word study on the words blessing, Baruch, and Barakah. They will overlap. Please click like and leave a comment on this video so that YouTube will show it to more people. Without your support, our channel will not grow.